Almost as soon as the First World War ended, the families of servicemen killed started to travel to Europe to see their gravesites. During the war, the British government decided it couldn't possibly return the bodies home, so they were buried in military cemeteries not far from where they died. More than 11,000 Canadian bodies were not found. The Vimy Memorial honors them and Canada's contribution during the entire war. Now, there are dozens of gravesites in France, and one of the largest is on the grounds of Vimy Ridge. Thousands of Canadians made their first visit to Cemetery No. 2 in July of 1936, when King Edward VIII officially unveiled the memorial site. It's at Cemetery 2 that about 4,000 young Canadians will hold their own student-led ceremony Easter Monday morning.
Pledge amid the winds of time to carry their torch and never forget. We will remember them.
Just like the Canadians who made a pilgrimage to the war sites in the 1920s and 30s, they'll place candles before becoming part of a huge ceremony at the memorial itself, led by Veterans Affairs Canada. They'll carry a Canadian flag made of patches from each student or cadet group on the trip.
One of the ceremonies we're having is we're going to Essex Farm, and we're literally and symbolically going to accept the torch of remembrance, and we're going to take it to Vimy Ridge.
Essex Farm is where John McCrae, who was born in Guelph, wrote In Flanders Fields. During this trip, Aaron Chelly of Oakville looks forward to learning more than a history book can teach him.
That should be really cool. Like they said, we walk through the trenches and all that, so it'll sort of be like in the place of them, not to their extreme, but to see what they walked through and all that stuff.
It's going to be a hands-on. It's going to be more like you'll be in the place of the people. You'll feel the fear that they felt, and you'll feel what it's like to be in such a monumental place that everybody around the world knows about.
It's a story Oakville's Ella Witkowski knows well. Her great-grandfather, Silver Bennett, fought in the trenches at Vimy.
The lessons learned at Vimy, to a certain extent, emphasize things that were already in sort of their gestation stages in the preceding winter. Lessons like planning, preparation, knowledge, fire and movement tactics, not always signaling to the enemy precisely when you are going to attack by laying a really heavy barrage on them so that the Germans, it's raining shells today, the Allies must be about to attack. Simple things like communication, initiative. These were not new in the spring of 1917, but it was the first time that they had all been tested to that extent and found to be successful.
That success in the surge of Canadian unity it fostered will be celebrated on the 95th anniversary of the battle.
4,000 students, 4,000 youth of Canada, once again marching in silence up the hill, taking the hill at Vimy Ridge again. And just like 95 years ago, all of Canada represented.
Dave Robinson, who's helped EF Tours Canada lead trips like this for years, says this will be a life-changing adventure for the students on it.
What we're finding right across the country is the students who participate in the trip, usually when they go back to their high schools, they end up running and organizing the Remembrance Day ceremony at their own school.
Each student at the memorial will wear the Vimy pin from the Vimy Foundation. It's a non-profit group in Montreal dedicated to keeping the battle's legacy alive. A poll for the Dominion Institute showed only 30% of Canadians knew what the battle meant to our country's history. Now the foundation works to share the story with Canadian students.
At some point on this tour, every child on the tour, it has that I get it moment where something happens to them where they all of a sudden they understand their place in the world, their place in Canada. They just get it.
It's all a matter of being there, just like the Canadians who made the pilgrimage to the site so many decades ago. Dave Robinson has been organizing history trips for years, but he thinks this is going to be the most emotional and meaningful trip yet, a chance to soak in the lessons learned on what has become sacred Canadian ground.
Something's changed on Vimy Ridge. The soldiers who fight there know it. They write it as much in their letters home. When they're interviewed years later, their sense of pride and shared accomplishment of being at Vimy, whether they're from Sherbrooke or Nova Scotia or British Columbia, is clearly different. And that, I think, in the end, is probably the true legacy of the battle. It also, of course, over time, gives us what is in my opinion, undoubtedly the greatest single war memorial on the Western Front, which is ours at Vimy.
Join us live from France, Easter Monday, April 9th, as we follow a special student-led ceremony at Vimy's Cemetery No. 2 and the national ceremony led by Veterans Affairs Canada at the Vimy Ridge Memorial. Our coverage starts on Morning Live and continues throughout the day.